Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 12th of November 2018, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a look at the markets, what's happening with them right now, what happened last week. So I hope you're all rested and had a great weekend. So, yep, we're going to have a look at the charts today, as always, of course. But before we start looking at those, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay guys, so now then let's jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on is the FTSE 100. Now looking at the FTSE, jumping into this daily chart here, see that last week it was a bit of a not a very exciting week for the FTSE. Certainly it was a bit ranging here, and managed to close the week in the still managed to close the week in the green, but we saw Friday kind of we saw this little decline here, saw this weakness kicking in. So in a way, what we're gonna keep an eye on here is if we're gonna jump into a 4-hour chart on this one, and for today specifically, we're gonna keep an eye on this little area here at around 71.90 here on the upside. A nice good break above that level could potentially shift this index a little bit higher here. We do have this long-term upside support line here that has been running here for quite a while. Let me just kind of drag it all the way here back to show you here, and that's from around the 11th of February 2016. So this trend line continues to run here higher. Certainly I do understand that we've broken it to the downside. So if this basically gets a push above these 71.90 level, this could potentially, like I said, open the path towards slightly higher levels where it could in a way test the 72.45 here, marked by the highs that we saw around the 9th of October. Also, it acted as a very good area of support here in September time. So could be a nice potential area for a test, but if that doesn't hold slightly above that, we do have this, like I said, this long-term upside support line. In a way, we could test it from underneath. Also, you can see we do have the 200 EMA here as well. Now then, we could in a way test that one as well. So yep guys, keep your eyes on that one. There are some good potential areas here, especially like I said, if we do get a nice pop here above the 71.90. On the downside, in a way, what you can start looking at from the very short-term perspective, of course, let me just quickly put this arrow here, which you can have a look at this little area here, the 70-70 point, the 70-70 zone. A nice good break below this area could potentially, like I said, open the path towards slightly lower levels. We do have then good support here near the 70-30 area, approximately there. That was marked here by the lows of the 6th of November. But if that doesn't hold, I mean, if the index continues to travel further down, keep your eyes on the 69.85 area, which was marked here by the low of the 30th of October. Now this could be an interesting one as well, because this is could be for those who are more on the cautious side. In a way, you could wait for a possible break here below the 69.85, and then we could aim for the lows that we saw here in October time, so the lowest areas of October, and initially of course aiming for the 68.70, and then the 68.50 marked by the low of the 26th of October. So keep your eyes on that one, of course. But like I said, for these lower levels, for us, we would need to see a nice good break initially below the 70-70 zone. For those who are more adventurous, of course. For those who are more on the cautious side, well, like I said, you could keep an eye on the 69.85 zone, which, like I said, a nice good break here below could potentially open the path towards these lower levels. But for now, be very careful here. It could in a way move anywhere. It doesn't have a clear direction here, even from the short-term perspective. So on the upside here, we're keeping an eye on the 71.90, and on the downside, the 70-70 zone. Looking at gold now, gold is an interesting one. Keeps selling off. Jumping into a daily here, you can see that now it's kind of testing this area here that I was talking about near the 1206, sorry. So last week I was talking about this one, and what you can keep an eye on is, of course, a possible break below that level. If we do get something like this, then this could be opening the path towards the, of course, the psychological 12,000 on the path there. But if that doesn't hold, we do have a better area of support here around the 1183 mark. Now, this has been, you can see that it kind of held nicely here in the past, in August time, in September time, and also in October time. So quite an important level to watch, the 1183. So keep your eyes on that one. But again, for us to see such a move towards that area here, we would need to see a nice good break initially below the 1206, and then of course to see a break of the psychological 1200 level. On the upside, from the very short-term perspective, you can in a way keep your eyes on the 1220 zone. This, if we do get a nice break here above this, this would of course automatically place the commodity above the 200 EMA here, shown as the black line. And this is, by the way, I'm looking at the 4-hour chart here. And then, of course, if that gets broken for us, we could consider a possible move towards this little area here at around 1226, or even actually going further up here towards the 1236, approximately there. That was marked here by the highs of the 7th of November. So keep your eyes on that one. Keep your eyes on these potential breaking points. For those who are more adventurous, in a way, you could also keep your eyes on this 1212 zone. A nice good break above this could potentially push it to test the 200 EMA here. But for this one, for such a, for such a trade, probably you need to, well, not probably, but you definitely need to have a very good stop loss here, guys. So in a way, you could place your stop loss somewhere around here, around this break here, around the 1206, and then could potentially try to play this game. But I would probably suggest to be very cautious here, guys, because like I said, we could see some volatility kicking in here, and some sharp spikes either way. So be very careful. Now jumping into euro dollar, so this morning now it's breaking the this, in a way that I was talking about, the psychological 13 level, 1.13. so we're moving lower. Let me just quickly jump into a daily here, guys, just to kind of find our next little potential level here. In a way, what you could, we need to kind of drag ourselves all the way here down towards the towards this area approximately here, and that's approximately around the 1.1225, which was marked here by the highs of the 26th of June and the 15th of June as well of 2017. So the 1.1225 becomes quite an important area here to watch. But to be honest, slightly below that, we do have a better area of support around the 11120. So the 1.1120 here was marked by the lows of the 20th of June. So the lowest point, in a way, the lowest point of June here, in other words. So keep your eyes on that one. But like I said, looking at this picture, what we're seeing right now, it's not really looking good for the euro dollar. And like I said, we could continue sliding further here down, and we could, in a way, now test the 1.1225 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. On the upside here, let me just jump back into the 4-hour chart. If this suddenly retraces back up here and closes closes the daily candle today above the 113 level, the 1.13, now this could be a sign that the bulls are not really willing to give up the pair, and we could see this one traveling back up here to test the 113.35 or even higher. But for now, judging by what we're seeing here on this picture on the 4-hour chart, it seems that we could see a bit more downside here on this pair. Jumping into USDJPY, now the USDJPY continues to push higher, and looking at this daily chart here, you can see that it's kind of aiming nicely towards the this high that we had around the 3rd of October, and now we're kind of aiming for the next potential area here at around 114.20. Certainly we can see that it's getting rejected here slightly for now, but certainly the day has just begun, and let's see how that plays out. So let me just jump back into the 4-hour chart here, guys. So in a way, you can see that it got held here by the 114.20 zone, but if this continues to push here higher, then we could aim for the test of the 114.55 area, approximately there. That was marked here by the highs of the 3rd of October. So keep your eyes on that one. A nice good, like I said, pop here above the this area here, the 114.20 could lead the way towards the 114.55, which was quite a key area of resistance here seen. That we saw here on the 3rd of October. If this, let's say, struggles to overcome the 114.20 and reverses back down, still not all is lost for the bulls. Now we could see maybe a rejection here, maybe a little bit of a curve here back to the upside then, but to be honest, for us to start looking at lower levels here from the short-term perspective, of course, we would need to keep an eye on this 113.60 zone, approximately there. Now 113.60 could be that area which could open the path towards lower levels. The only thing is what to keep in mind if you're more of a short-term trader here, guys. So keep your eyes on this little upside support line, in a way kind of a bit of a tentative one, but nevertheless. So this could also play out as a nice bouncing ground as well for the bulls to kind of take advantage of this. And but to be honest, if this gets broken here, I mean, this could potentially lead the way towards the test of the 113.05 area, or even the 113. You can round it up here. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. But for now, just judging by the picture that we're seeing here on the 4-hour chart, it seems that we could see a bit of a follow through here to the upside, and potentially we'll be keeping an eye, keep a close eye on the 114.55 area. And the last pair for today, for this session, I wanted to quickly touch on, and that's GBPUSD. So GBPUSD also in a similar fashion like the euro dollar, is also selling off right now, moving lower here, breaking some key support areas, and aiming now for the possible test of the 1.2850 zone, so approximately there. So keep your eyes on that one. This could potentially be maybe the ground where we could see maybe a bit of a correction here back to the upside, but of course we'll see if we get to that point here. We'll see if that's the case, if this pair gets towards this level for a test. But for now, like I said, at the moment, looking at this, what we're seeing here, it doesn't look quite healthy for the pair, and we could see further declines here, potentially, like I said, aiming for the 128.50 zone. If that doesn't hold, I mean, we do have some other good potential areas of support here. Now you could in a way start looking at this little area here at around 127.80, which was marked here by the inside swing high of the 31st of October. But again, like I said, this is a bit of a big drop here, could be a bit of a too big of a drop here for the pair. So for now we're just going to keep a close eye on the 128.50 zone. Let's see how that performs. For us to start looking at higher levels, at least for the in the short run, we would need to see a nice good break here above the 129.50 area. Now only then we'll probably consider higher levels, like, let me just adjust these levels here, guys. So we'll consider levels like the 130.55 area again, but if that doesn't hold, I mean, we could see further acceleration here back to the upside, potentially maybe hitting the 138.85 area here, or even actually going all the way higher to test this short-term, or should I say now medium-term upside support line. Kind of got broken here a few times. In a way, it now becomes a bit of a tentative one, but nevertheless something to keep an eye on. But to be honest, if you want to ignore this line, then what you could do is, if we get a nice continuation here to the upside here above the 130.85, then you could consider this level here again, going back all the way here towards the 131.75, which was marked here by the last week's high. Now this could be a nice potential area of resistance, but of course for us to see that level, we need to see a few good breaks here of some key resistance levels. So initially, of course, we're going to aim for the 129.50, and then above that the 130.55. Okay guys, I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to join me later on on. I'm in my trader's tea time, and that's 13:15 GMT time. So guys, keep your eyes on that one. Like I said, keep your eyes on that time. You could join me later on for my another review. But for now, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye bye.